Hello friends. I don't know if you can tell if the quality is significantly better and will continue to be significantly better in my future videos because I got myself a brand new fancy schmancy little camera. It's not a little camera, it's a big camera. Like, it's a full-on mirrorless camera with a big lens and everything, which is why you have this beautiful background blur and everything just looks nicer. I wanted to pick up the camera honestly because I feel like I'm having like an identity crisis. I've had these kind of identity crises multiple times throughout my life. I'm kind of used to having it. I feel like I'm just in this constant state of like wondering who I am and what I want to do and like my purpose in life. Like even down to silly little things like what I wear, how I dress, my clothing style, my personal style, my hair, the way that I speak, the way that I edit my videos. Honestly, I'm very much in a state of constant change, I feel. I honestly don't even know. I don't even know if this is going to make it to the light of day because whenever I start talking about stuff like this, I know, like in my brain, I know that there's other people that are going to feel the same way that I feel. But then I start overthinking it and just think like nobody's going to understand what I'm saying and I'm not going to make any sense and I'm just going to sound dumb and like I am a 28-year-old woman who has no fucking clue what she's doing, honestly. I'm ranting to my camera because I also just feel like I don't really have a ton of people that I can talk to about this kind of stuff. We're gonna get deep today, aren't we? I've never had like a super close group of girlfriends. I know you see all these groups of girls and talk about girlhood on Instagram and YouTube and other social media and everything. And it just seems like girls always have their sort of core group of girlfriends that they're like sisters and they do everything together and they're just constantly hanging out and they seem so close. And that is just something that I've never had. I've had close girlfriends before in the past, but I've never had one solid group of girls that's, known each other since we were kids or since we were in school or since we were in college. Like, I never went to college or anything, and the girlfriends that I did have in school, as we got older and we grew up and our lives sort of went on different paths, we grew apart. And and that's not to say that I don't have some good friends now, but they're very, like, I have a few really close girlfriends, but they're not friends. It's not a group of girls. And even then, like, those girlfriends that I am close with, I don't see them on a regular basis at all. And I obviously have Jesse, and he's amazing, and he is my best friend, and he will listen to me if I wanted to talk about this sort of stuff. But there's just something different about having a group of girls, I think. I am very much a homebody, and I acknowledge that I probably need to get out more and try a little bit harder to, make friends and hang out with the friends that I do have and be a little bit more extroverted. But honestly, I've become very comfortable being by myself as well. I'm very comfortable doing things by myself. I enjoy my own company, which is not a bad thing. I think I used to hate my own company, and over the years I've come to love myself and love my own company. But I heard this quote the other day, and it was something along the lines of happiness is best when shared. I think that is true, because I think if you're with people that you have things in common with and that you have shared hobbies or you enjoy the same activities and you're doing them together, I think it is amazing when you can be with other people doing things that you love and that you enjoy doing and you're all happy. Anyways, honestly, I don't want to take up too much more time because I've been filming for like 16 minutes now. Just talking about random stuff. So it's about 7 o'clock. See that at all? There we go. It's just after 7 o'clock on Monday. Jesse went to play hockey. So I have a couple hours where I'm at home alone. Have somehow managed to catch up on all of my editing. I don't have any like leftover footage from any point to edit, otherwise I would be doing that tonight, but I don't have anything. That's also kind of why I wanted to pick up the camera, because I was like, I'm not gonna have a video to put up if I don't film something. But it's, like I said, it's 7 o'clock and I'm feeling a little bit hungry. I might order myself something to eat, but honestly I think I'm just gonna pick up a book and read for the rest of the evening. I won't bore you guys with me sitting here like I always do, but I'm sure we will chat later this week at some point. Hello friends, good morning. It's not morning. I take that back. It's 3:30 in the afternoon. But I've basically just been working all day. I honestly feel like I've been super productive today, and I've accomplished everything that I had on my to-do list today, but I haven't actually done that much. Like, I didn't have a lot on my to-do list to do. I just had things that I had been putting off, honestly, at this point for weeks, that I finally got done. So I am just about off work in a little bit here. I have a phone call bank appointment when I'm off work, just to talk about investment accounts and stuff. I don't know, I feel like such an adult. It's not super exciting stuff. It's just trying to let my money that's sitting in my accounts actually do something, so they're not just sitting in my accounts, they're actually working for me. But other than that, I've been getting my other tasks done today, and I've been kind of going back and forth between listening to the audiobook for the Bane Chronicles, which is part of the Shadowhunters series. It's the collection of short stories about Magnus Bane. I've really been liking it, honestly. I think Magnus is one of my favorite characters in the Shadowhunters universe because he's just got this really funny kind of sense of humor. I think he's got an interesting sort of backstory and everything. So I've been going back and forth between listening to the audiobook for that and reading this book, which is Lie or Die by A.J. Clack. And it's like a YA murder mystery thriller sort of book. I got this when I was actually in the UK. It was just at one of the bookstores. I'll just read the back to you because I saw it on the recommended by the employee shelf or recommended by the staff shelf. And then I read the back of it and I was like, oh, that actually sounds like it could be really interesting. 10 strangers trapped in a television studio. 42 remote cameras. One rule: trust no one. Cass has been tricked into auditioning for a new reality TV show, Lie or Die. To win, she must uncover the murderous agents hidden among the innocent players. But someone is playing for real, and contestants are being picked off one by one. No longer a game of truth and lies, Cass and her castmates find themselves in a fight for survival. Can Cass escape, or will she die trying? Like, does that sound dramatic or what? It's set in the UK too, so it's kind of interesting when you're reading some of like the dialogue and stuff. They have just little things that they say, or little like mannerisms and stuff are very English. But the premise kind of sounds, if you've ever played, there's this video game called Among Us. If you've ever played that, or if you know what it is, it sounds kind of similar to that. It sounds like Among Us, but it also sounds like, and they reference this game in the book because that's kind of what the TV show was based upon. But if you've ever played the game Mafia, it's exactly like that. So these like regular players in the game are trying to find out who the killers or the agents are, and if they can find the two agents, then the players win. But the agents are trying to like pick the players off one by one. It sounded really interesting, and I'm about 107 pages in so far. And it's definitely very YA, honestly. I wouldn't say that the writing is anything spectacular. I don't think it's going to be a 5-star read. It might not even be a 4-star read, but it's going to be entertaining. You know what I mean? Alright, so obviously I'm not in any different of a place because it is 4:04 and I already had my bank meeting. I'm so glad I did that over the phone instead of going all the way in to the branch, because that would have been like a half an hour drive for what was clearly like less than a 5-minute conversation. I thought it was going to be a much longer meeting than that, because when I initially did my investments the first time around last year, it was probably over an hour-long meeting. But that's probably because it was the first time that I was like taking a bunch of money and putting it into investment accounts, so I had to like open up accounts for the money first and then put them into different investment accounts and whatnot. Whereas this time was basically just like renewing those investments and just choosing a slightly different option. This is getting very technical, but hey, if it helps anyone else, you're welcome. But last year, when Jesse and I were doing this with the investment accounts, we kind of locked into like a year-long term investment because we knew that we weren't going to be doing anything with the money for at least a year. But then this year, we have been talking about potentially maybe buying a house. I still don't know if that is going to happen or not this year, but I didn't want to go into another year-long like fixed term situation with my investments, because then if I needed the money because we wanted to buy a house, I would be like penalized, or I wouldn't be able to get the money. So I had to adjust the types of investments that I did. So all that to say, my meeting didn't take very long. Had I known that that meeting was only going to take like 5 minutes, I still could have gone to my oxygen class, because I could have just had that phone call while I drove there, because my class would be starting in like 5 minutes. I'm taking it as the universe telling me that I needed a rest day. I've been doing really, really well, staying fairly consistent ever since I got like my membership at Oxygen, because I think I got my membership, or I started with like the little trials and stuff in November, and it's now almost April. And I've been consistent with going at least like somewhere between 3 to 5 days a week. Giving myself a pat on the back. I'm doing really well with that. I'm proud of myself. Since I started, I've lost like 10 to 12 pounds, which wasn't even necessarily like a main goal of mine. I just wanted to start just being healthier. so I wanted to start exercising on a regular basis to be healthier. It feels good to feel like myself again. It makes me not want to stop going either, you know? Like, that's the other thing, is I feel more motivated to go because I have seen the impacts that it's made. I know a lot of people are into Pilates now, or they're into spin class, or any of those sort of group fitness classes. They're honestly amazing. 99% of the time, all of the people that are there are just going to be there to support you and support each other, and it's usually a very like welcoming atmosphere because everyone's there for the same reason. Good morning, friends. It is 9:52 a.m. I am just doing some work here. I've actually got a little bit of a busy work day just because I have to go through and do just a lot of like system sort of admin clerical stuff. But I just made myself some toast and I got myself some orange juice. I'm having a little bit of a late breakfast this morning. Normally I would have this at like 7 a.m. I actually woke up a little bit late this morning. You guys would know if you've been watching any of my recent videos. I've been trying to wake up at 6 a.m. Some weeks are better than others. I had every intention of waking up at 6 a.m. My alarm went off. I turned my alarm off and I was like, okay, I'm gonna get up in a second. Immediately fell back asleep. And then Jesse's alarm went off at like 6:30 and I woke up in a panic. I was like, oh my god, I'm supposed to be awake. I mean, 6:30 is still not that bad. I wanted to also mention that today is the last day of winter. You would never be able to tell looking outside right now. Suffice it to say, it is not very nice looking outside. It looks so gross and gloomy. It's not raining yet. Tomorrow is supposed to be the first day of spring. I don't think the weather forecast you'd be... Oh my god! I'm sorry. Jump scare, because the rest of like this week it says it's gonna be around like 9 or 10 degrees, and then next Tuesday all of a sudden it says it's gonna be 21 degrees Celsius. This is all Celsius. But like, what? Okay, spring. I'm excited to get out of this like seasonal depression slump. I feel like with spring starting tomorrow, it's the perfect opportunity to sort of reset myself. Yeah, I don't have much going on today. Like I said, I have quite a bit of work stuff to do, so that's going to be my main focus. And then after work, I am going to the barn for my horseback riding. I'm going to get to work and actually eat my toast that has definitely gotten cold at this point. Alright guys, it's the next day, it's Thursday. I'm in the same place I always am because I'm literally, anytime I'm updating, I'm working. But I wanted to give a bit of an update because I am like 50 pages from finishing Lie or Die. One sec. Did you not get your beef jerky?
Oh, I did. I want to try these out.
What are they? They're smoked.
Bacon bits. Like, they're like the size of like dimes, if you would, or nickel or quarters, whatever.
Yeah.
And then literally smoked bacon chopped up in like chunks, and it's delicious.
Is it like dried?
Yeah, it's kind of like bacon beef jerky.
Oh, that sounds nice.
Softer, a little softer.
I could really go for some like thick cut bacon, like thick, slathered in maple syrup.
Okay, if it's not maple syrup, that's pretty much what this is. It's fucking good.
There is, when I was at one of the Edmonton yards, there was a guy that made some like really good maple bacon that was like that, and it was so good. He was a weird dude, but his bacon was good. Anyways, sorry about the interruption. I wanted to give an update because I am like 50 pages away from finishing Lie or Die, and y'all, I feel like I'm kind of gonna have to eat my words. I said that I didn't see it being like a 4 or a 5-star book at all, because it is like just a YA sort of murder mystery thriller book with kind of a cheesy-ish premise. I don't think it's gonna be a 5-star read, and that's mostly because honestly the writing is nothing spectacular, and it is quite YA. I could see older teenagers really liking this rather than younger adults. That being said, I am 28 years old, so I am not a young adult. So, you know, maybe like a 21-year-old would appreciate this more. Anyways, what I'm trying to say is the writing isn't anything like spectacular, but dang. Yesterday, I think I was maybe a little under halfway through, and it got to a point where I literally could not put it down last night. Like, I was laying in bed, and I stayed up for an extra hour later than I planned to because I couldn't put it down. It just got to a point where it was so page-turning, and honestly it still is so page-turning, that I just want to sit here and binge read the last like 50 pages, and that is exactly what I'm going to do. The only reason I wouldn't give it 5 stars is because of the writing, but like it's entertaining enough. So it might end up getting a 4 stars. We'll see how the last 50 pages go, and we'll see how the ending sort of wraps up. It might end up getting 4 stars, and I might have to eat my words. Other than that, I don't have much going on today. I need to do a little bit of a tidy up in our living room, and my friend is coming over later tonight to get his hair cut, because I think I've mentioned it before, but I used to do hair. So occasionally I will cut some of my friend's hair. I cut Jesse's hair all the time. So he's coming over later to get his hair cut. It was also his birthday yesterday, so we'll probably hang out for a little bit. So it is a few days later now, but I did end up finishing Lie or Die the other day, so I wanted to come on here before I ended this video and just give you my final thoughts. I did end up giving it 3.5 stars. It was so close to being a 4-star read, honestly, but the more that I thought about it, as much as it was entertaining and I really enjoyed my time reading it, I don't think I'll really ever think about it now that I'm done, unless I'm recommending it to someone who's looking for a book like that. Like, it's quite a specific sort of trope, I guess, but I just really don't see myself thinking back on the book because it wasn't anything like groundbreaking. it was just purely entertaining, which was great. It was exactly what I needed. I just don't think I'm ever really gonna like want to reread it necessarily. Still a great book. I would say if you're looking for something quick and easy and entertaining, definitely check it out, give it a read. I just wanted to close this video out by giving you guys my final thoughts. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.